Okay, this is just a brief look at some of the top 3 smartphones we have. Currently, this is the Samsung Galaxy S3, as well as the HTC One X and the iPhone 4S. And so we're just going to talk a little bit about my thoughts on each of these phones here compared to one another. I know that a lot of people have strong opinions on whether or not they're an iPhone fan or an Android fan, and so I'm sort of neutral or platform agnostic, if you will, and so there's things about all 3 of these that I like, and there's things about all 3 that I don't like. We'll start with the oldest of the bunch, the iPhone 4S. Great design, great phone, super good in terms of its display, super stable operating system, super awesome camera. Apple really did a really nice job with the 4S. They included Siri, which is your personal assistant here, and that's a nice addition to the iPhone line. The bad thing about the iPhone is that everybody's iPhone looks the same. You know, everybody has the square tiles, and everybody's phone is the same size, and everybody, you know, their phones have no personalization, no customization. So that's sort of a bummer. Other bad thing is that this glass is really fragile, and so if you drop it, it tends to break. I've got a little thin case on the back of mine. But you see a lot of people with busted iPhones because they've dropped it on the ground, or their son or daughter has picked it up and thrown it across the room and it's broken. And anyway, the iPhone's pretty delicate, and so you need some sort of protection on it to protect against falls and accidents. Moving on to the HTC One X, a superbly designed phone in my opinion. The One X is just gorgeous. I think the screen is fantastic. The quality of the screen in terms of pixels and color is outstanding. The display, just how it feels in your hand, is really smooth, really nice. It just has this sort of sleek feel to it. And the same thing goes with its polycarbonate back. They've done this black sort of, I guess you'd call it plastic, but they call it polycarbonate. Either way, really, really nicely done. Very smooth to hold in your hand, very robust against drops. The camera does protrude a bit from the back, so that some people don't like that, but I think it sort of adds to the design. And in terms of software, they've added Sense 4 to the One X, which is pretty nice. I actually like Sense. I go back and forth between whether or not I like it or don't like it, and I tend to think that I do like it, but it definitely is a pretty heavy overlay on top of Android. And so if you're not a huge fan of overlays on top of Android, you might want to steer away from the One X. But that being said, it does offer some really cool widgets. It does offer some really neat customization that goes on top of Android, and so it's fun. The camera on the One X is an 8 megapixel, although it is probably the weakest part of the whole phone. Comparing the camera on the One X to the Galaxy S3 and the 4S, it really makes me want to choose something other than the One X. I've done some camera side-by-sides, and the One X camera, while it's good, is definitely not on par with both of these guys. The S3 and even the S2 probably has a better camera than the One X. And so with that, we'll go to the next one over here, the Galaxy S3, brand new. This is the marble white color that Samsung released in addition to a pebble blue color. And the white on this is pretty awesome. It's sort of a pearly white. I wouldn't call it, it's not like a flat white like the iPhone. It's got a sort of a blue sort of pearl sort of sheen to it. Very nicely designed, nice sort of chrome, silver here, plastic. It is all plastic, and so it definitely does feel plasticky. Like if you were to feel the 3 of these phones together, you would say that Samsung sort of feels the cheapest. You know, but with that, even though it feels cheap, it doesn't feel poorly designed. We're gonna mute that real quick, and we're gonna go now and talk also about the operating system here on the Galaxy S3. And so this is Android 4, so they've ported Android 4 to the new Galaxy. Ice cream sandwich. The TouchWiz overlay has been changed. It has all of these. They call it human, design for humans factors. And so, hang that up again. The design for human factor thing, they've got some settings in here where, let's not do that. You'll see it's called motion. And so the motion part is in here. They've added a lot of neat little things. And so You can call a contact directly by picking up the phone and putting it to your ear, or you can turn over to mute. And so like if you have an incoming call like that, if she calls again, I can try it. Yeah, see, so right, I can do that, and it will mute. So that's sort of cool. So if you're in a meeting or something, then you know you can just turn the phone over and it'll go quiet. But there's lots of cool little smart features about their TouchWiz overlay that they put on. Enough about TouchWiz for now. The camera on the S3 is fantastic. I don't have a point-and-shoot camera anymore because this camera is so good. It's just stunningly good. I mean, and they've added some nice features with like a high dynamic range and a panoramic mode. And so you can do a lot with these cameras on these smartphones, and the S3 is a great example of a device that is in my opinion a camera replacement. I mean, I keep this in my pocket and I use it as my camera. So screen on the S3, very, very good, probably on par with the rest of these guys, although in my opinion the One S takes the cake for screen in terms of sharpness, color accuracy, and sort of overall viewing pleasure. iPhone and S3, and I don't know, it's hard to compare the iPhone because of the size, but the quality of the iPhone screen is great. The quality of the S3 screen is great, but the One X just has it, I think, put together the best. I think color and quality and viewing pleasure, reading pleasure, it's just really, really a great package. One last thing to talk about is battery life. I would call the S3 good. I get a solid day for sure out of the battery. iPhone, always an excellent battery. And One S, I would say, or excuse me, One X, I would say very, very good to excellent battery. I can get about 2 days of use out of this guy before it goes dead. And so my only complaint with the S3 would probably be the battery life. My complaint with the One X would be the camera, and my complaint with the iPhone, as always and has been, is just its lack of customization. And so take that for what it's worth. Please feel free to check my other videos, rate, comment, and subscribe on this channel, and we'll talk to you guys soon.